All right, let's knock out some homework. So this should go fairly quickly, hopefully without mistakes. All right, number one, y is already by itself in both scenarios. So plus 4, that's where it crosses the y-intercept, down 3 over 1. Had hit the mic. -2, up 3 over 1. Feel free to pause the video if I'm going too fast. Or if you haven't seen the instructional video for this, definitely give that a look. All right, so the solution here, it's the intersection, 1, 1. Solve each system by graphing. I bet we did it. 1, 1. So here's top one was red, bottom one was blue. That'll be like that for all of them. All right, top one, y equals x plus 2. So positive 2 is where it crosses the y-axis. Up 1 over 1. Over is always to the right. X equals a number. Horizontal. It's a vertical line through -3. Vertical line through -3. So the solution set, x equals -3, y equals -1. -3, -1. All right, the top is x minus y equals 3. I want y by itself. So I'm going to add y and subtract 3 from both sides. I'm doing this simultaneously. So I'm adding y and subtracting 3. Cancels, cancels. So we're going to get x minus 3 is equal to y. That is our y equals mx plus b format. And the y-intercept is -3. Slope is 1 over 1. Okay, 7x minus y equals -3. Again, I'm getting y by itself, so I'm adding y to both sides. Because I don't like when y is negative, personally. And I'm adding 3 to both sides. Cancels, cancels. So we're going to get 7x plus 3 is equal to y. So positive 3 down 7 over 1. So just double checking this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. Why am I going down 7? I need to go up 7. So up 7 over 1. So it's positive slope, so it has to rise to the right. So I went to the wrong way. All right, so this is going to be right here. So here the solution, one solution, -1, comma, -4. That is the point, the solution to both the equations. All right. 4x plus y equals 2. We're on number 4. I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides. So y is equal -4x plus 2. So y-intercept 2, down 4. Slope is -4, so down 4 to the right 1. Blue line. I'm going to, so x minus y equals 3. I'm going to add y to both sides. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Therefore, y is equal to x minus 3. All right. -3 is the y-intercept, and the slope is 1. Solution says where the lines intersect. So this is 1 comma -2. All right, so that was graphing. Too easy, right? Graph the lines, see where they intersect. That's the solution. If they even intersect at all. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. I don't look at the key, so. Solve each system by substitution. So regardless of what I feel comfortable doing, I'm going to use substitution. Okay. Uh-oh. Right away, we might get confused. Y is equal to 4x minus 9. Y is equal to x minus 3. Well, y is already solved in both cases. So I'm just going to set them equal to each other because they're both equal to y. So 4x minus 9 is equal to x minus 3. Either one of them could be y. All right, I'm going to consolidate the x's. Minus x from both sides. So 3x minus 9 minus equals -3. I'm going to add 9. So 3x is equal to positive 6. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 2. So when you get one answer like this, x is equal to 2, this is only a piece of the puzzle. This is half the answer. You got to take that, plug that back in to one of the equations. Always plug it into the easier one, in my opinion. So y is going to be equal to 2 minus 3, which is y is equal to -1. So the solution, we have one solution. When x is 2, y is -1. That's essentially the intersection, right, of these two lines. All right, number 6. Substitution method for sure. I'm going to solve for x, mainly because it's minus y, and if I add y to both sides, that gets rid of the negative. So x is equal to 13 plus y. All right, now I'm going to substitute that into here. So 4 times 13 plus y plus 2y equals 10. Distribute. All right, 13 times 4. 13 times 2 is 26. 26 times 2 would be 52. So 52 plus 4y plus 2y is equal to 10. Again, combining like terms. 52 plus 4y plus 2y, 6y, is equal to 10. Subtracting 52 from both sides, we're going to get 6y is equal to -42. That's nice because 42 is divisible by 6. Divide both sides by 6. Y is equal to -7. All right, I'm going to take that and plug that into here. Doesn't matter which one I plug it into, but you always want to plug into the most ergonomic. You don't know what that means. Into the easiest one, right? Into the one that's most efficient. Which one can I plug it in and do the least amount of work? So 13 plus negative 7. So 13 minus 7, basically. X equals 6. One solution. 6, negative 7. All right. Number 7. We're running out of room. Okay. Y is already solved. So 5x plus 4y, in this case, negative 5, equals negative 20. So 5x minus 20, because 4 times 5 is 20. Positive times negative is negative. Minus 20. If I add 20 to both sides, I get 5x is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 0. So when x is 0, y is equal to negative 5. No need to plug x back in because y is already solved. Okay, solving the top one for x, because x is the lone variable. So x equals negative 7y, right? What did I do? I subtracted 7y from both sides. And now I'm going to plug in x here. So this is going to be 2 times x, which in this case is negative 7y, minus 8y equals 22. This is going to be negative 14y minus 8y equals 22. So negative 14 minus 8. It's going to get even more negative. So 14 plus 4, 18. 18 plus 4, 22. So negative 22y equals 22. Dividing both sides by negative 22. Cancels, negative 1. Y is equal to negative 1. So there's a piece of the puzzle. Plug that in to here. We're going to get x is equal to positive 7. Right, we plugged in negative 1. Negative and negative is a positive. Right. Again, if I make a mistake, comment out in the comments. It's pretty late. All right. Second page. What are we doing? Still substitution. All right. Okay, well, we got a piece of the puzzle. Y is equal to negative 5. That's nice. Plug that into here, into y. So 6x plus 8 times negative 5 equals negative 22. So 6x minus 40, negative 22. I'm going to add 40. This is going to be, do I have room? Sure. This is going to be 6x, right, go in this direction, is equal to 18, positive 18. Divide both sides by 6, cancels, 3, x is equal to 3. Second piece of the puzzle. Bro, they don't give us no room to work on this. All right. Okay. So here's where if you show if you're nice or not, right? If you're nice. You may not have seen this. I may not have showed this to you until now, because really it didn't come up. I could have done it before. Hold on. Let me see. All right, I could have done this in a previous problem, but I'm going to do it now. So here's something to consider, right? Here's something to consider. When you're doing these problems, right, sometimes you can factor out numbers, particularly when it's equal to 0. Right, if I factor out a 6, if I divide everything by a 6, cancels, cancels. 0 divided by a number is still 0. So I have x plus y. Now, do you have to do this? Absolutely not. That 6 is going to get divided out one way or another. Because even if I solve for y or x, I have to divide by 6, and I'm dividing by 6. You can sometimes jump the gun, and if you notice it, right, for instance, I'll give you an example. Here in number 9, I could have divided a 2 out. This could have been 3x plus 4y is equal to negative 11. And the same answer would have came out. Right? You're just simplifying it. All right. So here I have, with this train of thought, I can solve for y. Y is equal to x plus 0. So y is equal to x. So when I plug that in, doesn't matter which one I plug it into, I'm going to get negative 7x plus 2x, right? Because y is equal to x. Did I have to put the parentheses? No, I did not. Equals 18. So this is going to be negative 5x Oh, I see my mistake. So I'm subtracting x from both sides. Therefore, y is equal to negative x. Therefore, y is equal to negative x. And this would be 9. What clued me in is that 18 isn't divisible by 5. And typically, we want this to work out. So negative 7 minus 2x is negative 9x. Which is equal to 18. Divide both sides by negative 9. Why did I put 19? Cancels on the left. X is equal to negative 2. Okay, if x is equal to negative 2, I'm going to plug that in to here. Now be careful with the negative sign. All right, y is equal to negative x. So negative, and then x is negative 2. Therefore, y is equal, I'll do it out here to the far right. Do I have room? Yeah, I do. Y is equal to positive 2. Okay. Here I'm going to number 11. I'm going to add x, minus 21, minus 21. Cancels, cancels. We're going to get 2y minus 21 equals x. All right, I'm going to take that and substitute that into the first equation. So 7x, in this case 2y minus 21, that's nice, plus 2y is equal to negative 19. Distribute 14y minus 7, 147 plus 2y is equal to negative 19. Oh, this is going to get ugly. All right, so let's see. Combining like terms, 16y. I'm going to add 147 to both sides. So it's going to be 137, 128. 128. Okay. Divide both sides by 16. Is 128 divisible by 16? So let's think about this. 6 times 8 gives me 48. So I wonder if 16 times 8 is 128. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So that's going to be 8. So y is equal to 8. Take that, plug that in here into the y. minus 21 equals x. So 2 times 8 is 16. 16 minus 21, negative 5. (16 minus 21 is negative 5. Okay, 12. Y is already solved. That's half the battle. Let's plug that into here. So 3x minus 5 times negative 7 equals 17. 3x plus 35 equals 17. Minus 35 minus 35. So negative 35, negative 25, negative 18. So 3x is equal to negative 18. Divide both sides by 3. It's negative 6. X is equal to negative 6. We're cooking. Number 13. All right. I'm dividing everything by 4 now. So the 4s are going to cancel. I'm going to add y to both sides. So I'm adding y, so x is equal to y, positive y. Substitute that into the first equation. So it doesn't matter which one we do. We do negative 7x plus 4x. You're right, because I'm substituting in y, 4x. 24. This is going to be negative 3x. 24 divided by negative 3. X is equal to negative 8. Right, 3 times 8, 24. So x is equal to negative 8. Plug that into here, and we see that y is also equal to negative 8. That's nice. That is nice. (14). I'm going to add y to both sides, subtract 20 from both sides in the top. So I'm adding y to both sides. I'm minusing 20 from both sides. So y is equal 4x minus 20. I'm plugging that into the bottom. So negative 2x minus 2, 4x minus 20 is equal to 10. Okay, distribute. So negative 2x, negative 8x, positive 40 equals 10. Negative 10x plus 40 equals 10. But all I'm doing is combining like terms. I'm sure you can keep up. All right, minus 40, minus 40. So this is negative 10x is equal to negative 30. Divide both sides by negative 10. That's nice. X is equal, cancels, positive 3. Let's plug that into the top one. Look, I'm plugging it into here. So that's going to be y is equal to 4 times 3 minus 20. Y is equal to 12 minus 20. Y is equal negative 8. Okay, that is the substitution method. So now we're switching gears. Elimination method. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, we can do this. All right, so now we're using the elimination method. All right, a little bit more work. So recall what it means to eliminate. I need a variable to somehow have the same coefficient number-wise, but the opposite sign. So there's multiple ways of doing this. I'm just going to do it how I see it, and then you can follow along or do it another way or whatever you think. All right. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. Now, when I do this, it's best you ask yourself why. Like, always kind of like pause the video or stop the video and just think, like, what am I doing? Like, why 2? And it's because 2 times 8 is 16. And I have 16 and positive 16 and negative 16. The x's are going to cancel. I've committed to the x's. So this is going to be, I'm going to distribute to everything. So did I really need to draw the line just yet? No, I did not. I'm going to write underneath it. So when I distribute, I'm going to rewrite the problem. So this is going to be 16x. Do I need to write the plus? No, it's already positive. So 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12y. 2 times 20, negative 40. So now, when I add, the x's cancel. That's what I wanted to. That's the elimination part. 7 minus 12, negative 5y equals negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 5. I'm going to get positive 2. So y is equal positive 2. Plug that into one of them. Doesn't matter which one. I'm using the top. 8x minus 12 equals negative 20. Add 12. Add 12. 8x is equal to negative 8. Divide both sides by 8. Negative 1. So x is equal to negative 1. All right. Okay. I'm gonna multiply the bottom by 6. Or I could divide the top by 6. I like that one. I like that one better. Because even though we're multiplying is basically dividing, right? I'm just multiplying by 1/6, meaning I can divide everything by 6. So when I divide the top by 6, this cancels. This is going to make a 2. This is going to make a 4. So what do I have? I'm going to rewrite it just so it's cleaner. So I have x minus 2y equals 4. So then underneath, negative x minus 6y is equal to 4. So when I add, cancels. Negative 8y is equal to 8. Divide everything by negative 8. Cancels, negative 1. So y is equal to negative 1. When I plug in negative 1 into the bottom equation, I get negative x, negative 6, negative 1. So negative x plus 6 equals 4 minus 6 minus 6. Negative x equals negative 2. Therefore, x is equal to 2. That was crazy. Time are we at? 30 minutes. Let's go. I can do this. All right. I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2. Right. I'm committing to the y's. And I'm multiplying the bottom by 2. So this is going to be 12x plus 10y equals 4. And I distribute the 2 through to everything. All right, rewriting the top underneath, minus 8x minus 10y 24. All right, so that plus y and negative 10y, that's what I was like homed in on, right? So that disappears. All right, 12 minus 8, 4x. I'm adding, right? I'm adding down. This is going to be 28. Divide both sides by 4. Cancels, 7. So x is equal to 7. Let's do second one. So 6 times 7 plus 5y equals 2. 42 plus 5y equals 2. Minus 42 minus 42. 5y is equal to negative 40. Divide both sides by 5. Y is equal to negative 8. So y is equal to negative 8. All right. I know it's going quick, but you can slow it down. All right, look. If you don't believe me, see it? Can you tell time on the clock? It's midnight, baby. All right. Number 18. Okay, so this is our first instance. We're given fractions. What the fraction? All right. What are our thoughts? I'm thinking, let's clear the fraction. I'm also thinking we can factor out some numbers up top if I wanted, but I definitely want to clear the fraction. So it's like, well, how do I clear the fraction? Well, if you multiply the bottom by the denominators, things will happen. So it just so happens that 9 and 18 are multiples of one another. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by 8, or I'll multiply the whole bottom equation by 18. When I do this, I'll do this one slow. So this will be 18, right? Because 18 times 1. When you distribute here, the 9 and the 18 cancel, making it a 2 essentially. So instead of multiplying by 18, I'm multiplying by 2 because it cancels out, right? 9 goes into 18 twice. So 2 times 5 is 10. Why? And here, the 18s cancel. Negative 7x. All right. So now, I'm going to rewrite the top. So this is negative 24 minus 8x. Okay. So I see where this is 12y. All right. So notice variables aren't lining up. Variables are not lining up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 8x to both sides. I'm going to subtract 12y from both sides. So I'm going to get 8x. This is going to be minus 24 minus 12y. I'm thinking. Okay. There's a couple things we can do. There's a couple of things that we can do. All right, I'm going to. Right, so what am I thinking? You can't read my thoughts. So I'm focused on the y's. 12 and 10. So now, I mean, technically, I don't have to think about this. I can multiply the top by 12, multiply the bottom by 10. But those numbers are going to be like mad big, right? So I'm trying to like do myself a favor and not deal with mad big numbers. So I'm thinking, since the bottom are all even, I'm going to divide out a 4. Could I do that? If I divide out of 4, so if I divide out of 4, this is going to be -6. This is going to be -3y. And this is going to be 2x. So I like that. I like that. So let's kind of like clean up because there's mad equations right now on the screen. What equations are important? This one, because this is the one that we just did. And then this one. So these are the two, right? It started with the two on the left. And I started to do some stuff to each of them. And now I want to see how can I make this line up. So I think if I multiply the bottom by 10 and the top by 3, this should work out. I'm trying to see if I can do a smaller number than that. No, I don't think I can. All right, so look, this is 18. I'm just rewriting the problem. -7x, -6 minus 3y is equal to 2x. All right. So I could do, you know what? Multiply the bottom by 7 and the top by 2 and cancel out the x's. I feel like that's dope. So look, if I multiply the top by 2 and the bottom by 7, this is going to line up the x's to be canceled out. I was thinking 10 and 3 because I was focused on the y, but 10's a big number. I like single digits. So this is going to be 2 times 18, which is 36, plus 20y equals -14x. And in the bottom, -42, -21, and then +14x. So now when you add these up, cancels on the right, that's nice. Oh, look what happens here. This is even better, -y, and then what is this? 16 minus 42, was that 7? No. 6. It's going to be 6. -6. So then solving for y, I'm going to add y to both sides. I get y is equal to -6. Y is equal to -6. So that's half of the battle. We just got to plug that in somewhere. I'm going to plug it in right here into the smallest one. So -6 minus 3, -6 equals 2x. This is going to be -6 plus 18, right? Because 3 times 6 is 18. Negative is a positive. 2x. This is going to be positive 12 is equal to 2x. Therefore, x is equal to 6. X is equal to 6. Wow. That was wild because they gave, oh, you couldn't even see what I was doing. All right, my fault. I don't look at the screen when it's happening. Only sometimes. All right. All right, 19. Dividing everything by 10. I feel like that's my first instinct. By -10. Cancels, so those become positive. And that becomes -2. So what do we got? -2 is equal to x plus y. And we're doing the elimination method. All right. So look, I'm just gonna put the -2 on the right. I'm just rewriting it. Look, let me rewrite it again, because I want it to line up with the things on top, right? So I'm gonna put y first. So y, come on, dog. All right, y plus x equals -2. All I did was rearrange the terms. All right. Now I'm going to rewrite the top equation. -4y minus 11x equals 36. All right, definitely I'm focused on the y's, and I'm going to multiply 4 to the top. I'm multiplying 4 to the top because I want them to cancel. So this is going to be positive 4y plus 4x equals -8. So when I add, cancels. Right, that's what I wanted to happen. This is going to be 7. -7x equals 36 minus 8. 28. That seems right. -7, -7, -4. So x is equal to -4. All right, I got to plug that in somewhere. I'm plugging that into y plus x equals -2. So y is equal, or y plus -4 equals -2. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So this is going to be y is equal to 2, positive 2. Okay, so this is in a sense lined up. I'm just going to rearrange the things, the terms. So -4x equals -9 plus 5y. Right, I just rearranged the top one. I didn't move anything, just rearranged. All right, so this one's going to take some work because there's really nothing I can multiply or divide out. So in this case, so I focused in on the y. I don't want to do the x's because 11 is just, 11 is not bad, but 11 is not bad. Do I want to do 11? No. Check it out. So I'm looking at the y's. So right away, I'm going to multiply the top by -5 and the bottom by 9. I could have done 11 and 4 for the x's, or I could have done 5 and -9. So it truly doesn't matter. All right, this is going to be positive 55x equals positive 100. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. And then -45y. Then I have -36x is equal to -81. Then plus 45y. Okay, 45y's cancel. That's what I wanted to happen. Then I have 19. And then 55 minus 36. So be 19, right? Because 20 would be 56. So this would be 19x. Oh, that's nice. Divide both sides by 19. X is equal to 1. I'm going to plug that into the top equation. So that's going to be, So -9 plus 5y equals -4 times 1. So -9 plus 5y is equal to -4. I'm going to add 4, subtract 5y, subtract 5y. Cancels. So -5 is equal to -5y. Divide both sides by the coefficient, positive 1. So y is equal to 1. We're almost there. All right. The top is funny. I'm subtracting 10 from both sides. So negative 10 on the left. So negative 10. This is no longer here. I'm multiplying the top. Oh, you know what? You got to pay attention. It's getting late. It's getting late, so we can't get sloppy. I'm going to add 2y to both sides as well. So on the top, I'm going to get negative 10 plus 2y is equal to negative 6x. And then this is 14 minus 22y equals 18x. All right, I'm focused on the x's. If I multiply the top by 3, this is going to make negative 30 plus 6y is equal to negative 18x. And that's exactly what I wanted because look, 18 and negative 18 is 0. This is going to be for negative 16y and negative 16. Oh, this is nice. So when I add 16 to both sides, it's going to be 16y. I'm adding 16y to both sides. So then I divide both sides by 16. Cancels. I get y is equal to negative 1. Y equals negative 1. All right, plugging that in to one of these. Doesn't matter which one. Just plug it into the top. So negative 10 plus 2 times negative 1, right, is negative 2. Is equal to negative 6x. This is going to be negative 12 equals negative 6x. That's positive 2. So x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2. All right, 22. They don't make this easy. They don't make this easy. Okay. Well, let's just line the things up. Line the terms up to where. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. So I'm going to get negative 16y minus 6x equals 22. And then I'm going to get negative 11y minus 4x equals 15. All right, so I think this one what is something that we notice? That the top is all even. So if I divide a 2 out, matter of fact, if I divide everything by negative 2, I'm going to get positive 8y plus 3x negative 11. Let me double check that because it is late. So 8, positive 3. Okay. All right, you want the numbers to be as small as possible. And you don't want to deal with large numbers. Okay. So now, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. I'm just going to multiply the top by 3 and the bottom by 4. So my train of thought is that I've looked at the x's. I've committed to working with the x's. And one's negative and one's positive already. That was the whole purpose of dividing everything by negative 2. And then you just hit you hit the other equation with the other coefficient, right? So I hit the top with the bottom coefficient times 3, and I'm going to hit the bottom with the top coefficient times 4. And this will allow me to cancel out the x's. So let's go. So I'm gonna rewrite this. Right, I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna draw a line so I don't get confused here. So this is gonna be negative 33y minus 12x equals 3 times 15, 15, 30, 45. 8 times 4, 32. Oh, that's nice. Plus 12x equals negative 44. All right, so now when I add these together, that cancels. X's cancel by design. And this will be negative y equals 1. So y is equal to negative 1. Y is equal to negative 1. Where am I going to put that? Y is equal to negative 1. All right, I'm going to take negative 1 and plug it in somewhere. Let's plug it into, truly doesn't matter, into the 8x plus 3x, or 8y plus 3x equals 11. So that's going to be 8 times negative 1. So negative 8 plus 3x equals negative 11. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 3x is equal to negative 8, 9, 10, 11. Negative 3. Because I added 8 to both sides. And now divide by 3, divide by 3. X is equal to negative 1. X is equal to negative 1. That was a fun one. They almost got us. All right, we're getting down to the thick of it. Okay. What I want to do, I want to make sure that all the terms line up. All the terms line up. So I'm going to, so in the bottom, I'm noticing y's and x's, right? So I'm going to add 16 to both sides. So I'm going to get on top 20x minus 8y is equal to 6. On the bottom, I'm rearranging things so that things line up, terms line up. Negative 22x minus 18y equals 36. Okay. There's a lot that can go on right here. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. Everything by 2. Just divide everything by 2. Right, they're all even. So this is going to be 10x minus 4y equals 3. Negative 11x minus what? 9y equals 18. Because I divided everything by 2. Okay. Here, okay, I'm not even going to think about it. So check it out. Sometimes you can just brute force, right? Maybe you didn't catch all the, like the slick tricks I'm doing. So this is going to be, so my train of thought is that the x's have opposite signs. So I'm going to hit the top by 11, multiply the bottom by 10. So 11 times 10 is 110x. 11 times 4 is negative 44y. 11 times 3 is 33. At the bottom, negative 110x. Right, that's the move that I foresaw. Like minus 90 equals 180. Right, I don't mind multiplying by 10 in a pinch. So when I add these up, cancels. That's what I wanted to happen. This is going to be negative 134. 134y. And this is going to be, so 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Carry the 1. 2, 13. Is that half? No, it's not half. Okay. Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? And I sure did. I already see it. I added 16, but I really only added 6. So that changes the whole problem. Because, right, I added 16. So when I divided 16 by 2, that gives me 8. That gives me 8. So then when I multiply by 11, that gives me 88. Maybe you saw it. It's well after midnight. All right, so then this is going to be, what are we doing? We're adding. So just make sure I didn't make any more mistakes. All right, so when you add, this is going to be 8, 16, right? Because 8 and 8 is 16. Carry the 1, 268. Ah, that's better. That's better. Divide both sides by negative 134. Right, negative 134. That's half of 268. Like immediately I see that. So y is equal to negative 2. No, negative 2. Y is equal to negative 2. That one looked like a crisis. Okay. Plug that in to one of these. So let's plug that into, sure, the top one. So I'm plugging it into 10x minus 4 times negative 2 equals 8. This is going to be 10x plus 8 equals 8 minus 8 minus 8. Oh, that's nice. That's 0. So x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. That one's wild. Okay. Last one as far as calculations is concerned. I mean, clear the fraction, right? That's got to be the first thought. That's got to be the first thought. Multiply everything by a 7. I almost want to say negative 7 because everything is negative. No, we want it to add, so I'm just going to do positive 7. So when you distribute, that's going to make a 5, negative 5. That's going to make a negative 11x. And that's going to make a equals negative 7y. All right, rearranging the terms, I have 7 plus 5x. I'm just rearranging the top one. Equals 2y. So that kind of lines up. Again, I'm not even thinking, trying to see how I can play this game. I'm just going to multiply the top by 2 and the bottom by 7. And then hopefully the y's will cancel. Well, I know the y's are going to cancel. So this is going to be negative 10, negative 22x equals negative 14y. Right, all I did was distribute. You got to be able to distribute. 49, right, because 7 times 7 plus 35x, and then equals 14y. So when you add, 14's cancel, make 0. Okay, 39, it's an odd number. And then this is going to be a positive. Positive what? 8 plus 5. 13. So 13x minus 39 minus 39. Divide by 13, divide by 13, cancels negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3. All right, plug that into 2y is equal to 7 plus 5 times negative 3. That's basically negative 15 plus 7 is going to be 8, negative 8. So 2y is equal to negative 8. Therefore, y is equal to negative 4. Y is equal to negative 4. All right. Oh, you couldn't even see it. Couldn't see what I was doing. All right, check that out. So that's as far as the calculations go. There's a critical thinking question. So write a system of equations with the solution for negative 3. So this is my x and this is my y. So, I mean, just off the top of my head, right? Instead of, it's critical thinking, but it is 12:30. So just off the top of my head, right? If I had x plus y, so 4 plus negative 3, this is going to be 1. So then, right, I know that 4 negative 3 lives on this line. Because when I plug it in, it's on the line, right? It's got to be. Because 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay. So then if I solve this, right? If I solve this for y, I'm going to get minus x plus 1. So then, now my train of thought is that, okay, this is a line that goes through 1 with a negative slope down. All right, if I reciprocate, right, if I flip the slope and make it positive, this is kind of like, this is reaching, right? But if I flip the sign, so I'm like, I want a line that's perpendicular. So I'm going to use the opposite and negative, opposite reciprocal and opposite sign slope. So y equals positive x plus 1. Therefore, when I move this over, this would be negative x. Well, no, that's not going to work because that gives me a line that is perpendicular, but doesn't guarantee us that it's going to go through 4 negative 3. It doesn't guarantee us to go through 4 negative 3. So let me just think for a moment. Feel free to, I'd say pause the video and try to figure it out, but by the time you figure it out, you might as well just let the video play in the background and think on your own. So the original line, positive 1, up 1 over 1, or down 1 over 1. And 4 negative 3. We'll call this 4 negative 3. Oh, I got it. Genius. So here's the line in black. X plus y equals 1. Boom, is that line right there. Then, come in like a boss, and I let this be x equals negative 3. So then x equals negative 3. I could have used y equals 4. I mean, all it says is to write a system of equations with the solutions. Boom, I did it. Problem solved. So if you want me to come up with the better one, give me more criteria. So that's it. Here's my system. I gave you 2. Now, could I have been fancy and say had a line perpendicular like this? Yeah, I could have. But, it's late. Maybe you can do it and leave it in the comment. All right. Have a nice night. Got it at exactly about 1 hour. Catch you next video. Peace.